What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole playlist down there in order for you guys. Hopefully that bear won't chase us into oblivion. This episode, I figured what we would do is we'll go get Blackwall's memories while he's in the party too. It just makes more sense that way. And then we'll go get Vivian's book for her circle, and then we'll go clear out Valammar since we found the key for him. Christine Griffin feather.
Good find.
What's your only comment for that? Good find. Maybe I was expecting a little too much from you, Blackwall. Catch those for me. You're not gonna be stabbing me. About to have a gloriously bad day. Generational. That takes care of that. I'm gonna move my party on before that bear chases us to the pits of hell. Which they will do if you let them. Next on Senna's shrine. Senna, beloved, may your ashes be gathered by Falandine and carried safely. For all the long years you carried me. I didn't accidentally step on that gravestone. I was just trying to read the codex, man. Right, so that's that. Let's keep walking on this way just to clear the map, and then we have a camp right next to the other one that I'm interested in doing, so we should just be able to zip around the map here and get all this stuff done pretty quickly. Depending on the time we have left, when I do get done with this, I will go to Redcliffe today. Or at least do all the prep to go to Redcliffe next time. Either way. We have 3 more landmarks to get in the hinterlands before we have every single landmark in this place. Made good work on that. That's a lot of episodes in the hinterlands though, right? You see what I was saying at the start of this series about how I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep all this stuff in. Well, this is why. What aggroed to me, and why do you all care? Which one is disengage? Yeah, just stop whatever you all are doing. I don't know what aggroed to you, but it's not important. Okay, I don't think the warden memorabilia that we're looking for here is in Lake Thedas. That's the set. In these ruins. I guess it makes sense, right? Wardens would naturally pick a place like this to camp. Somewhat fortified. Maps of the deep roads.
The Inquisition could benefit from this.
Yeah, you're telling me. We could have gotten Vivian a lot earlier, but I wanted to get like a decent chunk through the hinterlands early on just to see how it would be episode-wise to keep all that kind of stuff in. And I'm still not sure if I've decided. I think we're on episode 20 or approaching 20 now, surely. And that just for one location in the hinterlands is extremely chunky. And the hinterlands is the first location, it's not even the biggest, so there's going to be some considerations to make going forward into future areas. But as long as the episodes stay interesting, it doesn't matter if it ends up being like a 400-part series, right? As long as it's still fun to watch. There's the book. 1 out of 3. She does not need as many books as Blackwall needs warden memories. Alright, so now... No, we're not doing that yet. Now we go to Valammar. We'll clear Valammar first. Get rid of the Carta that's been plaguing this place. The root cause of all the bandit issue in the first place, right? It is their fault.
Nothing to report, sir.
Yeah, there's a cool little trick here for the Mage Templar conflict. I think they probably did it just so you can make your mind up on the Mage Templar conflict without having to commit super early. Okay, well, for some reason you can run up what I can't jump up, but I'll just do that and hope that I teleport to you. There we go. Yeah, you can actually go to Redcliffe and investigate the mages and do the first little part of that quest line. It only locks you off from the Templars when you go into Redcliffe Castle. That's when you'll be locked off the Templars. So, as long as you do not go into there, then you can do whatever you want. so you can farm some XP, and you get a couple agents out of it too, so that's what I'll be doing. Blackwall is such a unit. Stocky motherfucker, isn't he? I do miss the Wardens being the main characters in these games, though. Imagine a world where your Grey Warden from Dragon Age Origins was the main character of the entire 4 games. Like, imagine being your Warden, facing down Solus, knowing that they're the ones responsible for the Darkspawn, right? They got all your brothers in Ferelden killed, that is slowly killing you with the Taint, that's the reason. The level of investment you could have had there. Especially if they add in, like, let's just say the Warden's having his true, legitimate calling, right? Not the fake one by the Blighted Gods or whatever, like, genuinely the calling.
It seems the dwarves have found.
So you're on a time limit to squash all this, too. God, that would have been good. Never did like the let's just play as random BS protagonists. Go do your thing. Blackwall, I'll be with you in a moment. I am not going to allow you to just sit on the high ground. Oh god, that might sting. Luckily our barrier saved a bunch of our health getting drained by that. We took 36 fall damage when we hit the floor. We could run around and loot all this stuff after it's clear. Where are you going? I don't remember giving you permission to leave. Let's see what we can find out about their operation here. Hard to know on security. We should be secure enough from outsiders. I'm more concerned about attracting Darkspawn from the lower levels. We don't have the manpower to push them farther in. Keep the product on the upper levels and barricade the bridge. Okay, so there is Darkspawn prison here. I guess this connects to the deep roads from somewhere. Out for me, Blackwall. Which grenade recipe? Why will none of you... I just clear your commands. Okay, I think I had them on hold position by accident. I hit clear commands and then they stopped doing that, so I guess maybe I hit H by accident during those fights. Maybe the map of the deep roads will come in handy being here. Playing a dangerous game, just trying to barricade the Darkspawn in, because if they get a scent for you, they're gonna want to drag you down. Especially if you have female members of the Carta here. As uncomfortable of a truth that is, that BioWare has completely walked away from it since Origins. That's still how Darkspawn reproduce. They don't just poof into existence. Yeah, that aspect of the original dark fantasy is a little too dark for BioWare. After around 2009, they changed their minds. I think the whole Darkspawn dragging women down into the deep and turning them into broodmothers and all that stuff, that has been the most danced around topic by BioWare I think I've ever seen a company do with their own lore. They so hard want to like never speak of that again. Which I get it, it's pretty dark, but it is dark fantasy and it is Darkspawn. They are evil incarnate, right? A corruption and manipulation of everything that is mankind. Let's see. What is down? Path number 1. Something that I imagine I can't open. It can only be opened by a mechanism. There's a few things I think I wish this franchise had revisited. The deep roads being like a major thing that you had to take care of, I like, and then I also, man, the things I would give to go back to Orzammar. Like, to see Orzammar from Origins in modern day visuals, super high fidelity. If anybody from BioWare ever watches this, I just have one ask of you, and I'm sure everybody would love it and you could make money, is please remake Dragon Age Origins, but leave the combat system exactly how it is, don't mess with the story, don't take the codexes and change the way they're written because you think it might hurt somebody's feelings, just make the visuals really, really good. An angry note. First Aliska, now Brennor. Caught him trying to steal some of the product. Just a little bit, just to keep, he says. Nug shit. Trying to make a little extra on the side, thinking I wouldn't notice. I will not be undermined. Your cousin said we could trust Brennor, so you handle it. If I'm not happy, you won't be either. Defaced Carta noticed. Much of Valammar remains closed to us. Anyone interested in changing that should meet here tomorrow, or 1 hour past noon. T. Series of notes has been scrolled below this notice. Stop wasting time on that damn door. I don't care what's behind it. The mechanism's broken. More importantly, who cares? We have product to move, and you want to see if some ancient dwarf locked up the good tea set? We're short-handed as it is. If I hear you've taken another group to the lower levels in search of gears, I'll make you sorry. L. First of all, I think this place used to be a trade post. There could be something valuable behind that door. And just how will you make me sorry? T. I'll use my imagination. And knives. L. Arguing over coins and pittance.
Darkspawn.
How many can we expect to encounter? Blackwall?
It's hard to say. Keep your guard up.
I'll let you take point on the Darkspawn, Archer. Kind of your thing, right? Fighting these things is super dangerous, and the game doesn't really acknowledge that here, but if they swing their sword into you one wrong way, if you get some of that blood, if the Inquisitor got some Darkspawn blood in one of his wounds, it's over. He will be tainted. He would have to either become a Grey Warden, or he'll just die to the taint, like Wesley, Abelin's husband from Dragon Age 2. The game doesn't really do it justice how dangerous this is. Even just being around Darkspawn. Spend too much time around that stuff, you get blight sickness too. Their very nature corrupts and plagues the land. Not something they choose to do, or can choose not to do. It's just that nature. Very, 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 very dangerous enemy. It's the kind of thing that you would want to fight from a very far distance.
The Darkspawn are coming up through here.
We must seal it off.
We'll get right on that, Solus. Do your thing, Blackwall. Might be a good idea to, you know, I might add some of those traits back on the trials. I might put on the one that gives them unique traits just to see. At least that's sealed up. We won't have to worry about any more coming back behind us. I'm surprised they hadn't already taken care of the Carta. And I guess they are kind of mindless drones though, right, when there isn't an archdemon. What do we have in here? Things that I, for some reason, don't have a button prompt to loot. And there's a dwarven gear. You were glowing before, and now you're not. Did I just lose out on loot? 11 out of 12 pieces found on the pole. So we've almost completed Ferelden's mosaic, or the Hinterland's mosaic, rather. Let me just lockpick this. Well, I wonder which Carta leader we're going to be finding here. Is it going to be L or is it going to be T? Knock, knock. Go ahead, Blackwall. Okay. My mages are annoying me again. You go there. You go there.
God, I've had enough. This is metal.
Okay. This doorway is triggering me. God, the way you control the tactics menu sucks in this game. Good, we're going in. Everybody being funneled into the doorway wasn't really working out in our favor. We all good? Did everybody get out of the doorway of death alive? Asshole companions just all crowded up on the door. Like, just move around, move back. I think it's because Vivian, her whole thing, the lightning spells I gave her, I think she has to gap close. They maybe don't have enough range for her to sit back. Report on activity in the hinterlands. The soldiers call themselves the Inquisition. They've been helping the refugees near Redcliffe, poking around a fair bit too, though they haven't come near here. They have someone with a trick for closing those rifts. Some rich marcher they're claiming was sent by Andraste. Zealous nug shit if you ask me. Just a brat wanting a new title so he can win the noble pissing match back home. The mercenaries do their job. We shouldn't have a problem. Still, keep an eye out.
They've been watching our movements.
As it turned out, you had a problem. Orders for lake operations. Check on operations at the lake. Make sure they're doing their jobs down there. Don't let them give you shit about the wildlife. I don't care. Take Liska with you. Give her something to do. She's been on edge, complaining about humming or some nonsense. If you can't handle the job, deal with it. So Liska is L. That was a chick. Which one is T? Personal note scrolled in a ledger. It's good though, Red. With the Templars severing ties to the Chantry, we should find buyers easily enough. It has to be the right buyer though. Don't want anyone who'll get ideas. We need to control distribution. If travel across Lake Calenhad is secured, we're made. Most of the veins have been near the surface. There's enough of it, but if we find a deeper vein, a source, the take could be huge. Once we have a firm grip on the current operation, we can look into expansion. But they wanted to supply everybody. Thought they had it made down here. And that would have all gone away very quickly if they ran into those darkspawn that was starting to break out from the hole back there. Darktown's deal. Ask the nobles of Orzammar how their kingdom gets silks and grain and wine from the surface. And they'll tell you, trade with the surface occurs. It occurs, as if on its own, with no traders or merchants or human farmers involved. Little miracle of dwarven ingenuity. The reality is a lot messier than their fantasy. Orzammar relies upon the surface, not just for its prosperity, but for its survival. Ages of blights have taken thousands of tags away from the dwarves. These were the places where most of the food was raised. The dwarven kingdom that endured alone, independent beneath the stone from time immemorial, perished in the first blight, faded into myth. Now, the remaining dwarves underground cling to existence through a lifeline to the surface, a chain forged from the casteless. Every dwarf who goes to the surface is stripped of caste, effectively exiled, and removed from dwarven society forever. But Orzammar relies on continued relations with these exiles to live. This has created a shadowy area of dwarven trade and politics where the rich, powerful, and elite maintain secret ties to people who, by official decree, no longer exist. And everyone knows what kinds of things lurk in the shadows. The Carta lives in the underbelly of the surface trade, like a tapeworm. Many surface dwarves maintain ties, not officially recognized, of course, but respectable. Their former houses in the noble or merchant castes, and those contacts are their means of trading with Orzammar. Those who have no ties, because they were cast off by their families or never had good connections, make the trip back underground to trade with Orzammar personally, where they find themselves treated like criminals. A casteless in Orzammar, even a wealthy one from the surface, will be driven away from most merchants, treated like he's carrying a plague at best. But these surface merchants turn to the Carta for help. The Carta acts as a contact in Orzammar for surface business and sells their goods on the black market. For a cut, of course. The Carta always gets its cut. The outraged citizens of Orzammar sometimes petition the Assembly to deal with the rampant crime surrounding the black market, and showy displays are made of kicking in the doors to Carta hideouts and raising Dust Town. But the Carta always comes back, because the Assembly always allows it to. Too much of Orzammar is dependent on the black market trade, and the nobles know it. They all do business with the Carta. Everyone has a stake in its success. The Carta has 1,000 faces above and below the surface. Honest merchants and noble caste lords and upstanding members of the Merchants Guild. All a cover for the 1,000 more smugglers, thieves, and murderers in the shadows. The lifeline of Orzammar. Praise the ancestors. Excerpted from Darktown's Deal by Varric Tethras. It makes sense, right? You have an entire caste system that entirely hinges on kicking people out of the houses, and then they are forced to the surface, and then those surface people can now all of a sudden conveniently bring surface supplies back to Orzammar, except they have to do it through the Carta, because of course you couldn't besmirch your appearance, right, by doing work with the casteless. So then that allows the Carta to exist, torturing, murdering, all that stuff. It's like an Ouroboros, they all feed each other and eat each other at the same time, and then sometimes there'll be little skirmishes here and there to make sure that they don't embarrass themselves too much. They have to be seen to look like they're doing something about the problem, right? They never actually will, because they need it. And I imagine a lot of the nobles and things like that probably have a little too much pride to admit the situation. They'll all quietly allow it to continue. There's a lot of that stuff in real life too. I'd imagine there's all kinds of politicians making shady backroom deals because they either need something or the political shit show it would cause to admit any of it is way too much, so they'd rather just pretend that it doesn't exist. Forward facing, they'll tell you everything's fine, and then in the background they'll be paying people off or telling the police not to investigate certain things. I'm sure that's all a thing in reality, but that's just worse for the dwarves because they're the ones that kick people out to starve to death. The fact that if you touch the surface you're considered an outsider is quite amusing, considering their entire military came to the surface to help us fight the Darkspawn and Dragon Age Origins, but I guess they made an exception for that, right? The dwarves are the ones that got bit by the Darkspawn first, and extremely hard. It's like the one man said, the Legion of the Dead in Dragon Age Origins. Humans only think about the Darkspawn during a blight, but the dwarves exist in a constant state of blight, because when they're not up here, dealing with us, they're down there, constantly fighting the dwarves. 24/7, 365. The dwarves don't get a break from the Darkspawn until there's a blight. That's the only time they come topside. So everyone else's demise is the one dwarves' chance to get a breather. Finally get some rest from the constant fighting. Maybe try to take a tag back or push the lines forward a little bit, ready for when they come back down. I mean, ideally you would... I'm surprised there hasn't been a leader in Dragon Age at some point that decided to try to rally the forces of Thedas, like every single member of Ferelden's army, every single member of Olay, all the Chevaliers, every dwarf, right? Every member of every caste, all the Carta, just take everybody, form a gigantic united nation army, and just march into the deep roads and kill as many as you can. just try to wipe them out. I'm surprised that has not been attempted by anybody in history. Because it kind of seems like the play, right? On face value. It seems like the best way to deal with any of that would just be to go in their home and do everything you can to take them out. If I was a king. Then again, I suppose you would have to force the other nations to come with you, right? It's not like Ole would agree to fight with Ferelden, and it's not like the Free Marchers would agree to fight with Ole, and etc, etc. But it just seems... It seems like the one chance you would have to actually end blights for good instead of constantly having to sacrifice chunks of your land every couple hundred years. But that's the other problem too. You get so long in between blights that by the time the next one comes around, everyone's forgotten why wardens are necessary, and nobody right? Like, nobody cares anymore. Like, oh, the blights. Like, 3 sets of my ancestors will be dead by the next time a blight occurs, so why would I go into the deep roads and die for it? That's probably a big part of that problem too, as to why nobody's tried to do that. I would play that game. Imagine. Dragon Age 5, everybody going down. Well, that'll never happen actually, thanks to Veilguard and that ending and how that kind of... In my opinion, it ruins the Darkspawn, but imagine a world where Dragon Age 4 would have instead been the Grey Wardens and everybody in the lands uniting to push down to the deep roads and end the blights forever. Of course, you would have to find the tainted gods down there for the archdemons and stuff like that, but it seems like a worthy cause, right? You take a giant army down there with supply lines taken care of in your back, so you can feed them, keep the push going, and then you just wipe them all out, kill as many as you can. I mean, the only people that go down there to do anything like that are Grey Wardens on their calling, right? They'll push into the deep roads as far as they can, kill as many as they can before they die, rather than succumb to the taint, but you send a big army down there doing that. And when I mean big, I mean big, 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 big. Not just like the Legion of the Dead big. Like all of Thedas big. I mean, I guess you would never be able to get the Tevintos in on that, or the Canare, but if you could... Damn. Imagine looking at that force on a battlefield. A bunch of Canari and Fereldans, Kirkwall, Free Marchers, or Legions, Navarra, the Death Mages. Just bring everybody, the whole enchilada. That is a game I would love to play. Well, you can see now, outside Redcliffe, there is a rift.
Sound the alarm at the first sign of demons.
Well, this woman asked us for proof that we can close rifts. I guess she's about to get it. Do your happy little skippy thing. Him I didn't see. That's unfortunate. That's gonna hit me. There's nothing I can do about that. It slows you too much to be able to do anything. Phase 1 of that taken care of. Yep. Hate terrors. My most hated enemy in the entire game is these things. At least we got out of that one in time. God, I thought I killed myself. Stop it, you asshole. Let's get this closed before I run into some random stuff and end up dying to tick damage.
What was that?
None of my reports indicated temporal distortions near these rifts. Interesting.
There are many mages in Redcliffe. Maybe Fiona will know what's going on.
Make her have mercy. It's over. Open the gates.
Happy to let me in now. Get the evidence you were looking for. I guess I can't talk to her.
We spread word the Inquisition was coming. But you should know that no one here was expecting us.
No one? Not even Grand Enchanter Fiona?
If she was, she hasn't told anyone. We've arranged use of the tavern for the negotiations.
Agents of the Inquisition, my apologies. Magister Alexius is in charge now, but hasn't yet arrived. He's expected shortly. You can speak with the former Grand Enchanter in the meantime.
There's a Magister here. Alexius is definitely a Tevinter. What is a slaver doing here?
Is weaker here than in Haven.
Coming for the mages of Ferelden.
But altered in a way I have not seen.
We must speak with Fiona at once.
Hope she's not doing something that stupid. I understand desperation, but signing your people over to the Tevinter Imperium is absurdly stupid. You would have to be a special kind of dumb to invite the Tevinter Imperium here, and the last time they were anywhere near Ferelden, they took a bunch of slaves out of the Alien Age and bled them all dry for blood magic fuel. And inviting them back to Ferelden again, huh? Well, now me and the Grand Enchanter certainly have problems. Big problems. Bringing a bunch of bullshit slavers here is not okay. They never learned their lesson, man. I understand that Tevinter would seem...
That windmill has weathered a great deal. I am impressed it remains standing.
Redcliffe Windmill. These ruins mark the spot where a windmill once overlooked Redcliffe Village. It was destroyed in the last days of the Blight when Darkspawn attacked the area and was never repaired. So this is the windmill where the knights stood outside of when we defended the village. It was on fire the last time we saw it, and I guess it burned to the ground, and they never made the repairs. Yeah, I know Tevinter seems like a natural ally for rebel mages, but it's really not, because you're not gonna be magisters. They will not have you be on an equal footing to them. You're all gonna be slaves. Your tranquil will be made into batteries for some magister's blood rituals, and that's gonna be that. There's no way they will make you magisters of the Imperium. You won't be free citizens. You will just be enslaved or sacrificed. The fact that you're willing to sign up to that is absurd. And an even bigger mark on your character, honestly. So that's Redcliffe Castle then, right? Right there. That's where Connor and Al Eamon was. That must be Redcliffe Castle if this is Redcliffe Village. It's so weird seeing the bigger sense of scale to this place and still
We should look around.
trying to figure out your bearings compared to where you were here last. I don't have deathlands yet, fortunate. And I believe...
I had the dream again last night. No, there'll be no talk of this. It was so real. And when I woke up, the sheets were as cold as ice.
I believe since we're now already here, it'd probably be a pretty good bet to split this one up, and we'll make Redcliffe Village its own little thing, I guess, because we got people to talk to, things to discuss, so it'd be better to give that its own little jam, I think. So thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to leave a like and a comment, subscribe on your way out, click that notification bell so you're notified every time my content goes live. I will see you soon with the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.